And as usual, the questions are coming through here, and I'm hoping to get through to most of them. But it'll be really nice to maybe get them firsthand from yourselves. I'm going to ask this question because I actually want to make sure that this one is being read, because I think a lot of people might kind of wonder about this. But I'm trying my best to juggle life's expenses. I know I need insurance, but I don't think I'll get a loan. I work but don't earn much. What are my options? Claudius?
Well, first of all, you can have an arrangement with your own insurance company if the insurance company is so inclined to pay your premium on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, whatever it is, based on your relationship with your insurance company. In addition, there is also a company which is called Premium Finance, which, as the name infers, would pay the premium on your behalf, and you would pay them back in installments over the period. So it's not so difficult.
Okay, so how do people get to find premium?
Each insurance company has an arrangement with Premium Finance, so they would make the arrangement for you.
Okay, what about maybe facing credit unions or things like that? Is that something that someone could consider?
That's another option.
Okay.
That's another option.
What about asking the adults in your house to share some of the costs? Because sometimes people, maybe the man of the house just thinks it's his duty to, or a woman thinks, well, you know, I can't ask anyone. I mean, can they say, well, I've got X amount of adults in my house, let me just ask somebody to help me with some of the
Well, I guess that's an internal decision. The insurance company wouldn't recommend to you how you go about financing the premium, except to offer premium finance. But in terms of how you generate the income within the household, they wouldn't extend that far.
But, you know, one of the things that I think on the last show you did, I was talking about persons need to become a little more inventive and innovative. For example, you may have a community, a small community of 5 people who individually may not be able to afford a certain amount of insurance, but collectively, let's say 3-4 houses, they can put their funds together, approach the insurance company and say, listen, we have these 5 houses we want to insure, charge us a certain premium. And the insurance company might look at it favorably and say, okay, and then decide to charge a flat rate for every house, because they benefited from large numbers. So it's we will have to think of ways of trying to approach the insurance companies, but there are things that we can do.
Okay, and for the policy that you've just launched, how can people, because the premiums are going to be lower than the traditional insurance, is it something that you would say, well, we'll still take them in monthly installments, well, or not?
The premium, well, first of all, I don't want to say we'll do the monthly installment, because the registrar of insurance might be listening, and it's not something we're allowed to do unless you do it under short period rate, short period. But because the premium is low, one of the things that we'll encourage them is to save. If you save up the small amounts in the saving account, you might be able at some point to afford the insurance. Yeah, but the premium is low. For the higher end of it, there is a premium financing that you can do. The premium financing option that is always available. So you could approach, once you approach the insurance company, Bank of St. Lucia through AC Global has a premium financing. Your credit union could also arrange something for you. So there are ways that you could actually find to finance the insurance.
Okay. For viewers who come in late and not really know exactly where we're going, I want to perhaps play a small clip for you here. It's actually the CEO of EC Global Insurance, Mr. Lethan Khan, who as I said earlier, in fact, when I first saw him about a month ago, and he was really excited about this product, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And you're sitting next to me, Severin, and again, I'm thinking it just sounds really impossible. But because it's coming from EC Global, and we have Claudius Francis next to me, I know that it has to be a really good policy. So the people who join us a bit late, let's hear what Mr. Khan has to say.
EC Global is extremely proud to advise that with effect from Tuesday, October 16, 2012, St. Lucia became the first island in the English-speaking Caribbean to have a formally approved micro-insurance product. By extension of that, EC Global Insurance now has the distinction of being the first insurance company to be granted approval by the Registrar of Insurance to market and distribute the very first micro-insurance product in St. Lucia. This new product has been branded the Livelihood Protection Policy, or the LPP. For us at EC Global, this is a very proud accomplishment and a very proud moment in our continued development as a very innovative and forward-thinking insurance provider. We also consider this exciting development as a further deepening of our commitment to good corporate social responsibility.
All right, well, that's what you heard Mr. Khan saying here. And I just think that when it comes to insurance, you must not just think you know what they're going to tell you, or you just think it's going to be too expensive. Think about the things that you are going to lose. Some of the things cannot be replaced, even though you might think, oh, I'll get the money for it. Some things cannot be replaced, you know, some personal items, you know, all those kind of things. So please, please don't just sit there, especially right now. You might be at home just worrying because you're really not sure if you are insured. And also, you might even be underinsured, and that's something that we've spoken about many times. You may be underinsured, and if something happens and the insurance company says, well, we can't pay you a certain amount, you get upset with the insurance company when you shouldn't be. So reflect, think about that, and as Mr. Francis said earlier, we never know when a hurricane is going to hit. And it's not, you know, with this new policy, it's not about hurricanes anymore as well. All right, so I want to just go into our last clip tonight, because I think that Mr. Francis may have something to say when he sees this one too. So here we have our last clip tonight.
First of all, let me start off by congratulating the Munich Climate Insurance Initiative for the foresight in introducing a product that is distinctly different to what we are used to on the insurance market. Essentially, we are looking at, I believe it is, two products. For now, just one, a livelihood policy, which essentially should take care of the needs of the more deprived members of society. Very different to what people are used to, where you are indemnified against the risk. In that particular instance, it's an introduction of what we refer to as a parametric policy, which will be triggered with certain conditions that have already been agreed to. So essentially, it's a big departure from what obtains in the market.
Well, I hope that the Registrar of Insurance, Mr. Calix Leon, has whet your appetite a little bit with that. It is different. And we've had someone on the line who's been holding on for a while, so thank you very much for that. Hello, welcome to Dolor Factor Live.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm just calling to find out if you can insure your thing, like if you're renting and if the house is not yours, if you can insure all your appliances.
Okay. The answer is yes, because the policy covers the house owner, who is the person who actually owns the house, and the householder, who is the person who rents from the person who owns the house. So there can actually be two separate insurances on a property. The tenant can insure the property belonging to them, and the owner of the property will insure the property belonging to him or her, which is the house. If you own both the house and the contents, you take a combined policy, which is both house and contents. So the answer is yes, you can insure.
And how much is $250?
No, it depends on the value of the things you have, and it depends on the sort of things that you have.
Okay, so you can make a list of what you have and then come
Absolutely,
down?
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, and
all right. Claudius, you're looking okay on the TV.
Thank you.
And caller,
okay,
I mean, thank you very much for calling, but stay on the line.
Right.
The producer will take your information. But if you have questions like that, and other viewers too, don't wait to ask us here. Go down to EC Global Insurance and ask them those questions, because it's more simpler than you think. I mean, when you hand over, thank you, caller, when you hand that little card, I mean, it's impossible that you can give somebody a policy on a little card like that covers everything.
Well, you see, traditional insurance have lots of pages to read. The policy is simple. The only thing we offer is wind, and that policy is wind and rain. So excessive wind, excessive rain. Nothing much in the policy. Okay,
recap the policy again, please, for people who've just tuned in and they're thinking, what are they talking about? Because someone has actually said, what's unbelievable? They've come in late.
Okay, the policy is, it covers...
It's called?
Livelihood Protection Policy. It would cover, it's targeted primarily at the low-income people, but anybody could buy the policy. What will happen is that the customer will come in and say, okay, I live in whatever area, and then they select between $1,000 to $10,000 cover and pay the premium accordingly. If there is a loss, they will get a text saying that the peril has triggered, and then how much they will get paid, and then the funds will be transferred to their accounts, and they do not have to prove that they actually suffered a loss.
That was unbelievable, viewers. We have another call. Hello, welcome to Dolor Factor Live. Okay, we've lost you, but perhaps you can give us a call back before Severin has to go, and time is just speeding along. So that was the thing that I was saying was unbelievable. And the other aspect was that you didn't have to provide the amount of proof that other insurances normally have to ask you to. Okay, so was this something that EC Global, I mean, how long did this take to put together?
Well, the consortium itself has a 3-year span. So they actually working in Jamaica. They're trying to do it in Grenada and Belize. It started like more than a year and a half ago. They were doing a lot of consultations with various ministries, etc., to come up with a policy. So after a year now, we have the policy.
Okay, well, thank you, Severin. We're going back to our last break now. If you have any other questions, I have one or two here to ask, but this is the time if you would like to send your last questions in. No more giveaway answers. We are kind of stopping that now, so don't bother to send any more, all right? We're not going to look at them. This is Dolor Factor Live. We'll be right back, and we'll give you a conclusion and some solutions as we're talking about ensuring that you insure. We'll be back soon.